This is Kathi Chase. Presidents claim that they wanted to traffic using the 7-Year War, which is not about me, to plot against me. I, Kathi Chase, Kathy Jo Carolyn Chase, maiden name Eggers. They wanted to plot against me and my children, my womb and so forth, because they knew what they couldn't do was illegal. And that's why they used my marriage. That's why they wanted to hold me hostage, abusing my children with the evil stepsisters. And political conspiracy is illegal in the United States. And they hid some of the laws, obviously, online, in which I cannot find. They do exist. Political conspiracy is illegal. Plotting coups against innocent American citizens is illegal. Now, they say that they wanted to send me off for their corruption. You know, bee's knees, snapping the football, to you kneel when you pray. They wanted to ship me off for their corruption, right? Well, you can't do that. They wanted me to uncover all their crimes, mock me with slavery, with master Freemasons, to calling me their slave. Okay? They mock me with Freemasonry, say they're my master slave drivers, okay? Trafficking me, mocking me with Queen Elizabeth II, Apple IIc products, Bush beer, and the beer Hall Push with Grand Island, Nebraska, and Hall County, G.I. Joe, Jeff Hall, the Hall Motors Company. They want to put me up on blocks like a car because my middle name is Carolyn. Mocking me with the Berlin Wall. Well, communism and McCarthyism is illegal in the United States. They have broken every law in the book, disrespected this country under their oaths. I hate to tell you, once you take the oath, doesn't mean you can go and then break all the laws. Okay? These people have been breaking laws for 30 years before they had even taken the oath. They think they're going to ship me off, put me in the trunk of a car, or actually under the hood, you know, sweatshops. They think they're going to put me under the hood of a Beetle 53, because Barack Obama's, 53 years old. Herbie the Love Bug, for God's sakes. Stonecliff is a 5300 block. And then Blackstone, the lawyer for We Daycare. We Daycare is where they got the insurance from, and the malpractices and so forth they didn't stop at the one malpractice at the age of 10. They kept going, and they've committed hundreds of malpractices unto me. They blackmailed the doctors in hospitals. They wanted to sabotage the bodies of my children illegally because they knew they couldn't do this to me. They couldn't plot a war with me within the United States based upon their own crimes, as I talked about, because that's embezzlement. They wanted to declassify information via embezzlement. That's where they got the anti-M. The anti-M, the E equals MC squared. They wanted to ship me off and my kids off with their 4-leaf clover, Hitler, swastika, luck, communism, McCarthyism. Well, A&W, root beer, money is the root of all evil, and so forth. As I said, they can't ship me off to death, corner me after uncovering all their broken laws, and then murder me and all my children over extortion of money. FedEx, extortion, and then the 2200 Essex in Southwood, which is where Randy Scott Traver grew up. Kathy Farley owns the home, and the Farley Traver connection is directly between the relatives of Obama and Bush, okay? They're the middle ground, okay? The Farleys are Hawaii-based, and then the Traver side is more towards the Romney Bush correlation. So, as people know, they're like supposed to be 11th cousins. So they wanted to use the laws on murder 11/11 with Veterans Day 11/11, mocking me with equal rights and pie. And kill two birds with one stone is just a phrase, and I'm not a bird. Okay, my maiden name is Eggers, but I'm not the communist. That's a frame for George, because Shannon and Kim are running around posing as me. They're yellow and so forth, as I said. George Bush, Leo Taxel fraud. He's trying to hunt me down for his Leo Taxel Ponzi scheme. As I said, Richard Chase, Pauline Bruns was Nancy Bruns's, which is her maiden name is Bruns. She's deceased now. Nancy Chase, Richard Chase's wife, is deceased, but her maiden name was Bruns. Pauline Winkler Bruns is Robert Chase's grandmother. Okay, Winkler, that's where they got the garages correlations with Happy Days and so forth, as I said. Pauline Winkler Bruns. So that's where they got their Ponzi hitches correlations with that part of their family. And then, as I said, they're trying to ship me off, trying to corner me, put me under the hood of a VW Bug or in the back of a van. Everybody's seen Silence of the Lambs. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to abduct me 30 years later. They're trying to corner me using the state of Nebraska to abduct me, and they think they're going to frickin' mafia kill me for their corruption. Noah's Ark, Apple IIc, rotten to the core, trafficking me to uncover their crimes. And then, as I said, the Blackstone lawyer, there's a street they named after it. My sister Jody Pfeiffer, it's not Piper, Jody and Jeff Pfeiffer live up in Omaha on 11115 Black Street. Okay? It's Pfeifer. My sister, my other sister, because I have two sisters that I grew up with, okay? Michelle, Michelle Renee Eggers is my oldest sister, and she was married to a Brett Peterson from Beaver Crossing, Nebraska, and then she married a Norm Porter, and she lives on Graham Street in Seward, Nebraska. Okay. So, Jody lives in Omaha, and Michelle lives in Seward, and that's corner correlations. Richardson County, as I said, is on the northeast corner of the capital, and Jefferson County is on the northwest corner. Hitchcock is on the southwest corner. You know, the movie about school and the birds and so forth. As I said, they're extremely, their behaviors and the psychological analysis on these people is really erratic, panicky, manicky. They are rapid cycling. Child peddlers, okay? They like to peddle people and acting as pimps. The presidents are no more than pimps, okay? They're street criminals who got into the White House to use it for different types of racketeering and fraud. They use me as the EG example, using my maiden name, that, they're supposed to fear them using Little Red Riding Hood. And then the No Fear Act that George wrote was about him wanting to play his little Red Scare. Well, we don't live in a communist country. George thinks that he can change the whole institute of the federal government with Barack Obama, and that they can totally undo and overtake hierarchies, worldwide hierarchies, which he is mistaken. He doesn't understand that there's only forward progress around the world with hierarchies, in which have to be thinking that the hierarchies around the world have to be, George and Barack Obama and so forth have to be the butt of the jokes, because everything always moves forward. There's only forward progress, okay? You go back from, the biblical times to, prehistoric times before that, and then, you had medieval times, then, you had, slavery, and so forth, and it's always been forward progress, meaning people get smarter, the advancement and the quality of life gets better and better and better. It never goes backwards, okay? You can't oppress people. You cannot use hierarchies as an excuse to oppress people. And he wanted to mock that with the monopoly board and trafficking my life. Okay, that's not the advancement that the federal government's talking about. It's a very slow progress in which it's supposed to naturally happen at a very slow rate, okay? To keep up with the resources of the world. George Bush does not understand this. He can't be a self-proclaimed martyr. Neither can Barack Obama. They claim they're king martyrs. Well, in this day and age, a martyr by hierarchies is a coward. A martyr by this day and age, because it's archaic, it's extinct, it's past time. You can't be a proclaimed martyr because people will think you're funny. It's queer to proclaim you kill people or hurt people, and then whine about it. That's what they've been doing for 7 years. They like to hurt people, then they want everybody to fuss over them, which is really queer, okay? Being a martyr is extremely queer in nature. And they used a Birkenhead drill. They wanted to ship me and my kids off first because they're queer cowards. They did all these sabotages to me and my children to hold us here because they're queer cowards. They wanted to use my marriage as a weapon for extortion, and because they're queer cowards. They put torture devices into the bodies of me and my children during their childbirth, and they put, plain medieval rude with the word door backwards, okay? Rude door, and then the 14th floor sideways. As I said, they put these devices in me, more devices in my body when giving birth to children. Now, these people want to accuse me of treason